Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have The Three Caballeros, starring Donald Duck. Now, a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, I'm not even sure how far back we did it, we did The Legend of the Three Caballeros, which is the modern take on these characters. In this case, this is the 1945 original short. It's not a short film. It's an hour and 11 minutes long. Hour and 11 minutes. So it's technically a movie, but it's not a short. But yeah, this basically it acts as a big musical number, song and dance piece wrapped around a travelogue of the South and Central Americas. So, yeah, to sort of dilute that in a little bit, they include Antarctica. They start out the story there. Donald basically gets a gift, which contains three gifts in it, and he opens them up one at a time, and one is a film strip featuring Pablo the Penguin, and I think that's Pablo, hopefully I remember that right, Pablo the Penguin, and he is a penguin who, unlike all the other penguins, does not like the cold, and he sets out many times and fails to head north where it's warmer. And in other situations, well, he eventually reaches his goal, but not without much trial and error. So yeah, that's our first little story. Then we get introduced to Jose, which some of you, I think it's the same bird right there. Technically, maybe it's the same bird. I'm not sure. As in the tiki room, but he's wearing clothing and smoking a cigar in this, of course. He shows Donald the wonders of Brazil, or Bahia. So lots and lots of dancing and singing, and that's when we first also delve into this film, where it's not just animated, but it's also live action. So it mixes live action actors with of course the animated Donald and Jose as they travel throughout South America, and especially Bahia. One of the things I've learned here the only thing that makes Donald less comprehensible when he talks is when he's speaking in Spanish or Portuguese. It's not easy to keep up with him. It's just lots of screeching. But yeah, anyway, I love Donald. Donald's honestly my favorite old school Disney character. One of the original Fab Five. He's one of my favorites. He is my favorite. So it's fun to be able to see a Donald centric movie in this sense, and it's a classic by every means. But it doesn't get more classic than the fact in the third package that he opens, we meet Panchito, and he takes us to Mexico. And in Mexico, honestly, it takes us to Mexico City, gives us a little bit of history on the piñata that I had never even known about. Like I said, it's a travelogue. It delves deep. I mean, enough for an entertaining musical cartoon for kids for the most part. But you get a lot of information out of it, and shows the glory and beauty and the majesty of these different lands and different cultures. And the Mexican part of this film builds and builds to a crescendo that takes you all the way to the final seconds of this movie. Let's not even pretend there's a story. The flimsiest thing is Donald getting gifts that connects these things, and they're all from South and Central America. That's honestly that's the thinnest thing that ties this whole little film together. But it's really just musical number after musical number, and it builds to an explosive climax, which sounds awful if you're a dirty mind. But speaking of dirty minds, Donald is a horn dog. You have to anytime a pretty girl shows up, and Panchito even it mocks him a little bit. Oh, you like pretty girls. Anytime Donald sees a pretty girl, he's just freaking out, and they basically make the mistake of handing him a telescope as they fly over Mexico on their magical serape, like a magic carpet. As they're flying over to give Donald a telescope, and he looks down and sees lots of pretty girls in bikinis and swimsuits on the beach, and he starts freaking out, and they dive bomb them in the the girls go just running scattered. These are live action girls, by the way, live action women running everywhere as they dive bomb them on a magical serape. Makes no sense, but Donald eventually jumps out and changes into his swimsuit, which is actually more clothing than he normally wears. You have to understand, Donald Duck walks around with no pants all the time. And when he goes to the beach now, apparently he wears a full body, bottom and top, swimsuit. Okay, that makes total sense. As long as his bottom part is covered when he's excited. Do not look up excited ducks. Just telling you right now. Anyway, this is the kind of thing that a friend of mine, she's introduced her toddler. He's maybe 5 by now, not even a toddler anymore, but he's a young guy, and they introduced him to this movie, and he loves it. It's if you are not tapping your toes at the very least throughout this movie, you're dead inside, because it's full of fun, beautiful music, and pretty girls. It's 1945. So it's very conservative in the way they present their women, but still, Donald is in love through 90% of this movie. It seems like it. If honestly, I could see finally. I've never seen this movie before, I have to admit. Now I understand some of the references that I've seen in Disneyland and Disney World, even just musical cues, and the one little bird that makes that. There's a little annoying bird that just has its own little song, little whatever it is. I can't remember what it was called, but he shows up. He does a little recurring bit here and there throughout the movie after he's introduced. So that's kind of a fun little bit. But yeah, no, if you want to put another classic Disney film on your checklist, you can't go wrong with this, and you can't skip this. If you want to see all the classics, and there's a ton load of them on Disney Plus. Come on, that's why we're here. It's not just, hey, sure, they got Onward now, they got Frozen 2, they got all the new stuff earlier than we ever expected, because we're sick. But hey, when you're done watching all those, go for the classics. Check out the classics. Considering this is 1945, this reaches psychedelic levels of animation, and they do some amazing things. Like I said, crossing over with real world. This had to be something that not a lot of people had experienced before in 1945. We take this for granted, Space Jam, whatever, But the idea that we have this in 1945, and these actors had to be going, okay, I'm doing what with Donald Duck now? I'm dancing and doing. It had to be surreal for them, and then to see themselves on screen after it was all animated and put together, that'd be mind blowing in 1945. We just got out of World War II at this point. Come on. So hey, if you can't get out right now, take some time to travel through Antarctica, South America, and Mexico, and experience something that you really can't and probably shouldn't be visiting right now. So, hey, that's what Disney Plus is for, taking you to new worlds, living the adventure, the fantasy of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So anyway, let's pick tomorrow's Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, 4:30. 4:30. What do we got here? 4:30. Oh. Almost there. Oh, hey, we got a series. And this is a series I've actually wanted to watch for a long time now. This, I might actually watch the whole thing. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how many episodes there are, but I'm not going anywhere. So maybe depending on how many episodes there are, I'm going to see if I can knock out all of them. This is Pixar in real life. Pixar IRL. Pixar in real life. So let's check that out tomorrow on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I know there's people who built a life-size real Wall-E and had him roam through the streets. Hopefully they haven't introduced a rat into a French kitchen, but you never know. Who knows? You see a guy in some guy's hair and he's trying to cook food in France. That would be interesting. But no, it should be fun. Like I said, I've been really looking forward to this series. So I haven't snuck ahead and watched it like I did with the Jeff Goldblum thing. So hey, here we go. Pixar in real life on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.